Check this out. Yeah, buddy. When life gives you balls, play with them. Best effing channel on YouTube.
I'm not from around here.
I had no idea Nashville is this beautiful. This is called the honky tonk. Things would have been a lot different had I been younger, I'll tell you that. Don't make my mistake. You can imagine how I felt. Last night got a little bit rough, man, I tell you that. Oh man, looks like he needs a little bit of help.
Check this out. See the deer crossing? Shit, basically. Can't see shit.
You see the wobble? You see that right there?
Are we there? Right there, you see it? There it is. Southern Terminus.
Hi guys, I'm currently on my tour of about 3,000 miles, 1,500 miles each way, and I just wanted to show you what my bike looks like in touring trim. So let's start from over here. You see you have the highway pegs over here, and this is the latest addition to the bike. So I have the Denali daylight running lights, DRL, and then I have the Denali D2. And we'll go into detail at a later stage about this, but this is a system that I wanted to try to get done. So basically these lights will always be on the bike. I just need to modify this to make it work, and it'll be permanently on the bike. These will only be added once I'm touring for better visibility, and we'll test that out together on the highway once it gets dark so that you guys can see how effective these could be. So these will be added, and there's a harness. So I actually bypassed, I didn't cut into any wires. I decided to bypass everything, get a harness, connect it directly to the battery, and have a manual switch. And on this trip, I'm also testing out, I got the brake line extension over here, and I added an additional 2 inches to the riser, so for a total of 6. Please don't try this yourself. This is not recommended. This is my bike. I'm not a professional. I'm not a mechanic. Do not try this at home. I'm doing this for my personal comfort. On the side, you'll see that this is where the switch is, and it runs directly off of the battery. The bike doesn't have to be on to turn it on. The lights are on, and this is what they look like, and we'll test them out in the dark. I'm also testing out these new gloves that I have. These are heated gloves made by Revit. They just released them I think around December, and what I like about them is that they offer protection. So for the knuckles over here, on the side over here it's all leather, scaphoid over here, and leather palm. The leather is actually soft, and it is also touch screen compatible, both the index finger as well as the thumb, so you can zoom in and out. The battery sits right over here, and it is USB rechargeable. So far I highly recommend these. Only problem that I found so far is that the thumb actually gets a little bit cold in really cold temperatures. We're talking about a 30-degree weather, so close to 0 Celsius. The other thing that I'm actually testing out is this new concept or idea that I had of attaching additional bags when needed. So right now I'm touring. Actually, this is a probably one of the longest commutes out there. It's a 3,000-mile commute. I'm going for work to Dallas, 1,500 miles each way. So I did need additional luggage. So I had a couple of different options to consider. One of them being to put a bag right over here. I didn't want to go that route because I would have to replace or remove the backrest for the passenger. Another thing that I'm taking this opportunity to test out is my new heated gear. This is made by Warm and Safe. This is their heat troller. It's wireless. It's connected to the actual controller, which is on the garment itself, on your body, and it's connected to it via Bluetooth, and that's how you can adjust the temperature with a dial, which is very cool. So I currently have 3 pieces, which is socks, pants, as well as a shirt, and it works extremely well. And the reason why I love it is that you can actually connect directly to the bike, running off of the bike's battery, for a total of about 6 to 7 amps, because this is a 7-volt system. And the reason why I went with a 7-volt system is because, one, I wanted the ability to have the system running off of its own independent battery, which it does, which is awesome, as well as the ability to run off the bike's battery, but at the same time not to overtax the electrical system of the bike. As you guys know already, the bike system is a little bit sensitive. The electrical system is sensitive because it has so many different electronic systems, and it's best not to overtax it. The other touring accessory that I have on the bike, as you can see, it's the tall screen that I have. This is a PCX screen, which I ended up modifying to make it work on the bike. Back then, there were no screens or aftermarket touring screens available for the Batwing. Now there is. I just recently posted a video. I came across a company called Gustafson Plastics, which have an amazing product, super quality. I received it, I tested it out. It's excellent. However, because of the time constraint, I could not bring it on this trip because it was a couple of inches too short to my liking. I ended up getting the 18-inch model, which they have on their website, but it is slightly more slanted to the rear, so I lost a little bit of height. So I need a few more inches, and I did not want to risk it on this trip. I needed to be as comfortable as possible. Something else that I'm trying out, and I'm going to tell you guys more about it later on, this is called the Drive Weather app. This is very different than your typical weather app. This thing is so cool because you actually put where you are, where you're headed, the time that you're leaving, and it factors the weather along your route, and it shows you different colors. As you can see over here, it's gray and it gets lighter in color. So gray is overcast basically, and over here you have clear blue skies, right? So you can also select, which I just realized on the first 200 miles of my ride today, the wind was blowing quite heavily. So you just press this right here, it'll show you the wind and in which direction it is blowing. So I know I was heading south, and this one was coming from the left side of the bike, so I would be anticipating gusts coming from the left side as I was riding on the interstate. And then you can also select the temperatures along your route, and you can see where you are, the temperature that it is right now. And I can't believe it's actually 67 in the middle of February. And as you see, by the time that I get to Knoxville this evening, it's going to be in the 50s. Additionally, you can also see, we talked about the rain, the wind, as well as the radar. You can actually see everything that's going on. So far, this is highly recommended. It's totally badass, because normally what I would do is check the weather in each city that I'm actually going through to make sure I know what the weather is like once I get to my destination. Check these guys out, you might love it.
A wise man once said, Jackson, Mississippi. They're all over my ass, man. Well, Aaron, thank you so much, bro. You saved my ass.
This has got to be one of the coolest sculptures I've seen.